is a lot of companies have kind of two tracks, the subject matter expert, kind of architect fellow track, as well as more managerial track. So in terms of developing people, do you offer those options? And what is Rasmus's
Sure. Yeah.
situation?
We do, and I think it's super important. I also have never experienced it done terribly well, and I wouldn't say that we do it terribly well. Fundamentally, there's a couple of different things, and my thinking evolved over the years. But the way I've talked about it we call it the senior engineering organization, and we have sort of 3 levels: staff, principal, distinguished. Rasmus is a distinguished engineer, and we can talk about what that means. And their rough goals are it's a move like management from being responsible for your individual contribution to being responsible for your team level contribution. But instead of managing people, you are doing other things, influence-based leadership. So as staff, you're supposed to be improving the folks around you. Principled, fundamentally, you improve the company, and distinguished, the idea is you're improving the industry by your work. No jokes about PHP. But it's challenging, and managers fundamentally start off with an advantage, and actually they start off with 2 advantages. One, they start off with our society's expectation of managers, and so by default, within your organization, with any company, there's more information shared with managers. All of our senior engineers are able to eavesdrop on the various management sort of conversations. That's one of the superpowers we give them. The other thing that managers do is they have people who they direct and develop and spend time with, and they have time set out in their schedule for getting better at understanding sort of what's going on in the company and what's going on with their team. And that just gives them a amount of leverage that it's hard for individual contributors to sort of balance and achieve. So we do have a track, constantly iterating on trying to make it more effective. I think that the fundamental goal is that everyone who becomes a manager should be doing it because they want to be a manager. And I think that we have not achieved that level quite yet.